Hello, my dear friends. This is Carrie Konyha bringing you another episode of Tarot for the Soul. This is a weekly psychic tarot reading for the collective, meaning that the messages that are coming are supporting us all on a collective soul level. And then, of course, we're all going to have our own individual, unique aspect of how these messages are pertaining to us specifically. I'm going to start by talking a little bit about the astrology that's going on, and then we're going to get into some channeled messages and guidance that wants to come through. First up, we have an amazing alignment happening astrologically this week, specifically in and around the new moon day, where we're going to have the sun, the moon, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn all aligning in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius energy is very imaginative, it's very inventive, it's very leading edge thinking. It's the visionary of the zodiac, and this energy is supporting all of us in regaining a renewed sense of optimism, hope, and faith around whatever our goals and dreams are for ourselves now and in the year ahead. So this is a time where we can rededicate ourselves to those things. It's a time where we can set some energies into motion. The energy of this month is all about self-development and initiating energies. We literally do have a quickening of life force energy building up right now as we're moving closer to spring. We literally have this growth-oriented energy that's rising up and inspiring all of us to shift into our joy, shift into our expansion. And that energy is really being activated this week. However, I also want to say that we do still have some transits with Black Moon Lilith at play, which also are making us aware of where there's a feeling of angst in our life. Black Moon Lilith represents our deep unconscious dreams and desires. And with the aspects and transits that are happening with Black Moon Lilith this week, we're going to feel like we're a little bit more aware of where we don't have things our way, right? So again, Black Moon Lilith is our deep unconscious dreams and desires, but sometimes it can show up in ways that we're having a little bit more of a disheartenedness around it. Like, well, this is what I want, but I don't have it. This is what I'm striving for, but these are all the blocks to it. On one hand, the energies are supporting us into shifting into this renewed hope and enthusiasm. And on another hand, that's sort of like at odds with the energies that are like, well, yeah, but there's this, and this in the way. What I want to remind us all of is that, one, when we're aware of these energies, we can work with them more consciously rather than feeling sort of kicked around by the ocean waves of them. Two, whatever energies are happening in ways that are always supporting our evolution. So this week we have an opportunity to reconcile. How do I reconcile my hopes and dreams with what I'm perceiving as being obstacles that are contributing to a sense of angst within me? The best way that we can do that is to be present with what our inner being is conveying to us. If you could be present with the aspects of you that might be becoming aware of where there's limitation or challenges or blocks, and ask those aspects of yourself, okay, what do you need to feel empowered? Trust what comes up and do those things. Follow through with the actions that your inner guidance is telling you around what it needs to feel empowered. We're all being inspired to move forward in the direction of getting some positive energy flowing in the direction of our ambitions. These Black Moon Lilith aspects are not going to remain forever. However, this week we are going to be feeling a little bit of that angst. So I'm just saying we do have the power to harness the energy of that angst to turn it into determination, right? And the way that we do that, the way that we alchemize angst into determination, is clear communication and presence of being within ourselves. Being completely present with, okay, what is my inner being telling me about this, and how can I work through it? How can I navigate forward? This is where we really want to harness the power of our intuition and the power of our will. The more we exercise our intuition and our will by utilizing them, the stronger they become. And as I mentioned in the Truth About Intuition video that I uploaded a few days ago, as things are coming up that maybe were not on our radar or not in our plans, our intuition is always guiding us forward in the path of least effort. This is what we want to look for this week, right? So there's a saying that says, life is what happens when we're making other plans. So we all have intentions, we all have goals and dreams, we're all on board with co-creating with the universe, but things don't always unfold exactly as planned. When those things happen, it doesn't mean that your intuition was off or wrong. It just means it's, hey, some other things came into being and now we're taking a new route. That's all it means. So it's just a matter of trusting that and listening to your intuition, and then harnessing the power of your will to take action based on how your intuition is guiding you. I'm sharing all of that with you now because it's a part of what's coming up energetically this week. So I'm already getting some messages psychically, but I want to pull a few cards as well. So this week I'm working with the Osho Zen Tarot. I really love this deck. And let me go ahead and give these a few shuffles, and I'm going to pull 3 cards, and we're going to talk about how the messages that are coming through in the cards are aligned with the messages that are coming through psychically, which I'm about to share. Okay. And so this first card that's coming up is called the Source. I pulled 3 cards. There's the Source card, Projections, and Rebirth. And they're all coming up reversed, which I'm going to talk about. But let me show you the cards right side up just so you can get a sense of them. So the first one we're going to talk about is the Source card. So the message that's coming through here is a lot about us being open and doing our part to stay connected with source energy, stay connected with divine creator energy. And the way that we do that is through being present in the here and now, being open in our hearts, being in our flow state. I talked a little bit about this a few videos ago. It was one of the intuition videos. The way that we can really remain in clear alignment with our inner guidance, which comes from being connected with source, is being in a flow state, which means being in a relaxed, open, receptive state of being. So that means we have to not be super stressed out, not be in depression, not be in anxiety. Those are the things that make us feel disconnected with source energy, creator, creation energy. So when this card is coming up about us, doing our part to stay connected with that source energy, this can be the source of your own inner guidance, the source of your own higher self, the source of divine presence and energy. We have to remember that source energy is always there. It's always shining its radiance in our life. It's always there for us to align with, connect with, and gain inspiration and guidance from. But we have to do our part to stay connected, which means doing our spiritual practices, right? Meditation, anything else that you do that brings you into that flow state of being. So this is another empowerment practice that we can utilize this week. It's interesting because one of the other cards that's coming up is the Projections card, showing up reversed. This is connected to another insight that came through me a few days ago. And this is about that angst that I was talking about with those little shadow aspects creeping into the picture. And then again, the way that we can recognize our shadow aspects are by recognizing what our triggers are. Let's use the example in alignment with what this projection card is saying. Let's use the example of, hypothetically, your job. Let's say you're frustrated with something that's going on at work. And so the shadow side of us wants to point the finger at the job, right? I feel this way because of this, and this that's going on in my job. Well, yeah, maybe things that are going on in your job are triggering a little bit of a frustration that you're becoming aware of, but that frustration was in you before the dynamics that happened in the job, like whatever is hypothetically happening. So what happens is sometimes we want to shoot the messenger, so to speak, which really is sort of missing the boat. When we're blaming our internal turbulence on external situations, we are shooting the messenger. The external situations are the messenger that's showing us where we have unintegrated shadow aspects. And the highest and best path forward would be to really own and honor those things. So maybe this hypothetical frustration that you have at work is really speaking to something deep within you that's around frustrating energies in general, like a deeper component to it. And when you can sit with that and ask yourself, what is the deeper level of the frustration that's coming up in me? What am I feeling frustrated about? What would I need in order to not feel frustrated anymore? It could be that maybe there can be some conscious communication around that hypothetical work situation that would enable you to feel more harmonized. Or maybe this frustration is coming up to show you where you're not honoring yourself in your life. And then the decision is, okay, what do I need? How can I show up for myself? And how can I honor that? So this projections card that came up reversed is reminding us to not shoot the messenger. Don't project our unintegrated shadow sides on external situations, but to have the awareness of realizing how our external situations might be triggering unintegrated aspects of our shadow side so that we can heal and integrate them. So that's a big empowerment practice that we have available to us this particular week. Okay, and then the last card we're going to look at today is the rebirth card showing up reversed. So this is what the card looks like. In the reverse position, I talked a little bit about this in the empowerment practices video that I just uploaded, and it's showing up here as well in this card. The rebirth card is about, reclaiming our value, reclaiming our worth. A lot of what's coming up for us now in the world, especially for empathic souls, is this feeling of not being honored. Well, guess what? We have to honor ourselves, guys. We have to honor our own self-worth, our own self-value before we can expect anyone else to honor or value us. And this is a soul growth opportunity and lesson that's coming up for us this week. Our rebirth, our renewal is connected to us reclaiming our value, us reclaiming our connection with source, our connection with ourself. This is us reclaiming the power of our will and harnessing the power of our will to guide ourselves forward. And I'm not meaning guiding ourselves forward through force of will, but utilizing our will to hold space for whatever those higher visions are for ourselves, whatever those higher goals and dreams are. The best tool that we have this week anyway to support our alignment with those things is by holding space. We can harness the power of our will to claim what we are dedicated to and what we're choosing to activate and initiate and to set into motion, and harness the power of our will to hold space for those things manifesting in whatever way is in alignment with divine orchestration, right? We always want to keep things open. We don't want to accidentally limit ourselves by thinking this can only happen in this specific way under these specific circumstances. No, we want to keep it open. Like, this is my intention. This is where my exuberance is. This is what my vision and my ideals are around this. And I'm holding space for this to manifest in ways that are best aligned with me, in the ways that I'm intending or thinking about, or in a way that maybe isn't on my radar that might be a better alignment. Hold space for yourselves in that way. This is what I'm going to call like a breakthrough type of week, because we have intense energies happening on both spectrums. We have this renewed optimism, hope, enthusiasm around our bigger goals and dreams. And then we have this angst as well. And again, it's connected to the Black Moon Lilith aspects that are happening, which is also connected to, this longer term angst that's been building up with everything that's been going on in the world right now. But it's not the end of the world. This is just a little bit of a stepping stone. These imposed restrictions that are happening from outside sources right now, really on a bigger level, are guiding all of us in the direction of finding our resilience, and again, finding our flowing forward in life regardless of whatever restrictions are being externally imposed on us. Not letting that energy take you down, not fighting it or resisting it either, just being in a very zen-like flow forward in alignment with a clear sense of what your goals and dreams are. If you'd like some additional insights on additional empowerment practices that we can all do in alignment with the energies of this particular new moon and the lunar cycle that is happening, check out the new moon personal growth empowerment practices video that I just uploaded. I'll link it up here. And I'm going to see you guys later this week for the next episode of Decoding Intuition. Okay, guys, love you. Blessings, namaste. I'll see you in the next video.